This is the story of how a well-priced home in Southwest Florida will sell in under 60 days. Always my goal is to sell a home in under 90 days. 90 days is a normal market, but anytime you beat that, that's a win in my book. And the buyer here really helped me with that. This home was devastated in Hurricane Ian, and she came through and updated this house to the nines in its class of home, right? Luxury vinyl flooring. She redid all of the drywall all the way up to the ceiling. Where most people, I don't know if you know this, but in Ian, we got water to about a little over hip height. Let me adjust my camera here. That should do the trick. So, after the hurricane, a lot of these homeowners came through and updated or did their remediation up to about hip level with drywall, electric, tile, flooring, whatever the case may be. But this homeowner took it above and beyond and redid the whole home. This is new construction for all intents and purposes, and it really helped when it came time to sell this house, because anyone who came through this door, I got to tell them that this home was taken down to the bones and put back together, and put back together thoughtfully. So this is a 3-bedroom, 3 full bath, 2,200 square foot home here in Florida in a golf community. This home has a golf membership, and people really love that golf lifestyle, especially when you're this close to Sanibel, Fort Myers Beach, Lover's Key, that sort of thing. This home is really close to the beaches. I mean, I'm not gonna put the home on the limelight, but we are bike ride from the beaches. So when Hurricane Ian came, it did a number on this community. We really feel the impact that had on this house. She updated all of the windows with impact glass, plantation blinds, but other things like, this is a guest bath, right? And she took the tile work, floor to ceiling, really nice trim work. It's got some like luxury finishes for what you would call a, 2,000 square foot single family home. This is a 3-bed, like I said, 3-bed, 3-bath. So other things that helped were the fact that we offered this furnished. And a lot of furnished homes, I don't care where you're at, a lot of furnished homes, they are kind of tired. Maybe the previous owner didn't have a lot of taste. I feel like this home is really tasteful. Everyone who's came through has had a lot of compliments on the updates, but also the furnishings. And this owner wants to leave behind everything, and people found that attractive, Oftentimes when people are coming to Florida, they're looking for a seasonal home, something they're only gonna spend about 6 months in. So they're rocking another house up north. So finding something turnkey that has tasteful furnishings, appliances, forks and knives, that's intriguing to them, especially when it's tastefully done. All the flooring was pretty thoughtful. I'm not the biggest, I'm gonna point fingers at things that I don't like. I don't like carpet, but this is a really nice carpet, and it has a lot of light in this house, vaulted ceilings, and then, we gotta check out the bathrooms and kitchens sell homes. So she renovated the primary bathroom as well. Really nice tile work. She did kind of like a modern thing on the bath. It's got, again, some natural light flowing in, which I think is pretty cool. So the updates and the furnishings helped sell this home. The price helped sell this home. I will get into that later, but also the ownership helped sell this home, right? So I don't want to put them on blast. So let's call the owners Wendy and Peter. Wendy and Peter were golfers here. They were very avid members of this community. They golfed a few times a week. They participated in the events that are happening at the clubhouse. Let's think cards, tennis, pool activities, cocktail hours, that sort of thing. It's a very socially minded community. So they were very popular here. So when it came time to sell this house, I'm doing open houses like I do. We had a lot of attendees come through who, hey, they knew Wendy, they knew Peter. Peter passed away, and now Wendy wants to sell this house so she can go back up north and spend the rest of her days with her kids, kind of being close to family. That's what's important to her, and I gotta commend her for that. I think that's really rad. But Peter passed away. Wendy is responsible for, offloading the estate. And their popularity played a huge role in selling this house. The house didn't end up selling to someone they knew by extension, but I could feel that it was very helpful during the process because every day someone was coming in telling stories about how Peter did this on the golf course and how Wendy helped them here at cocktail hour. And they had deep stories and a deep connection to the ownership here. And how does that help, Nick? How does that help? It helps because they're invested, right? They want someone to move into this home, move into this community that's going to fill the boots that are, or the shoes that are, empty right now. So they're reaching out to friends, they're reaching out to family, and they're marketing this house for me. And they're marketing it with a big exclamation point, this house is great. It's been renovated. It not only has it been renovated, but it's been renovated to the nines. I want you as a neighbor. The last owners, Wendy and Peter, they were just great people. And I would love to have you down here so that we could golf like we did with Wendy and Peter, that sort of thing. There are some other things. When you're selling a house, there's always to each their own topics. And to each their own can be so many things. The floor plan, the way the kitchen is laid out. But oftentimes it has a lot to do with like a pool, a view, that sort of thing. I don't know if you can see behind me, but the golf course is quite a bit that way. And it's a gorgeous golf course. Fees here are pretty low for a bundled community. I'm talking like $7,500 a year for bundled golf. That's insane. But it's got a really, really cool course, and it's pretty far back that way. So when someone comes through and they really want a view, they're thinking, oh man, that's not the view I want. I don't want to look into someone's backyard. But the way that this floor plan is situated, you come out here and the patio is oriented towards the golf course. Now, I'm not gonna blow smoke. That's not the most attractive view in the world, but it's not the worst view in the world. And then with not the worst view in the world comes some pros. Here are some pros. You're not waking up at 5 in the morning to landscapers going out and taking care of a golf course. Those are huge tractors, they're loud, they don't care that you're sleeping. So that's one of the things to look at. Now, pros and cons for everyone, right? Some people aren't gonna mind that. Some people aren't gonna mind that. So the fact that, they're a little bit away from the view, but they still have the view, it's in arm's reach, it's still reachable. When they did the updates, they did it with a picture frame cinematic screening. There's no obtrusive bars running through. So you have this like really open view to the golf course. Pool, spa, it's a pretty simple and humble home. Originally it was done with these automatic storm shutters. We keep those in a lot of times. Maybe they'll replace them with storm shades, that sort of thing. Because if you're a snowbird, what do you want to do? You want to be able to bring your furniture out from outside, put it inside, lock it all up, and just know that it's nice and safe and secure while you're out of town. So when we first put this home on the market, we had serious conversations about putting it up for sale in the $590,000 range, which most realtors would not be insane to accept the listing at that price and just run for it. Guess what? The comp supported that. You wouldn't be nuts to put this home for sale at that price point. The comp supported it. But I'm nuts. Wendy wanted to sell this home. Her husband, Peter, had passed away. She's motivated to move up north. She didn't want to sit on this listing for 300 days, which at $590,000, you might have sold this home for a close price and 365 days. I'm making up numbers, but I'm not off base, and I think you get my point. So I had serious conversations with Wendy about the price of this home. I said, look, you're not out of reach. You're not insane. That's not a dreamer's number. A lot of sellers are dreamers. A lot of buyers are dreamers too. Anyways, everyone's looking for a deal, right? Buyers and sellers. So I said, Wendy, if you really want to get this done, if you're really motivated about being done with your Florida golf home, you really want to be up north with your kids, you want to kind of offload this, we have to price this more competitively. And we did. So we settled at $550,000. In less than 60 days, we were under contract for $545,000. They had the right to inspect, but guess what? When the inspections came through, they didn't fuss because they know that they have a well-priced home here. Now, had we done this at 590, like the seller was not insane to think about, Wendy wasn't crazy to think about, when those inspections came through, that buyer, and I'm telling you this with a matter of fact, would have asked for the world. The roof this, the pool of that, the heater this, the AC's age. We want $25,000. Oh no, there's a chip in the drywall. We want another $1,300. This happens, but it doesn't happen when the buyer knows they're getting a deal. And I gotta tell you, I don't necessarily know that they're getting a deal here. The best deal is when the buyer and the seller are happy, and right now, that's what we have going on because no one's fussing and no one's making a mess. So, what's the moral of the story? I guess the moral of the story is, if you want to sell a house quickly, you have to know the story, you have to know the community. I'm a lifelong Floridian, so I'm familiar with all the pros and cons and history of all of these different communities. I was familiar with this one when I came into it. And I guess the moral of the story is, if you want the home to sell, you have to approach it from all angles, price it accordingly, and just be realistic. Wendy was realistic, and because of that, we got this home under contract in 60 days, and everyone's happy. And if you want to know more about homes like this one, please like, comment, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications, and follow my stuff, because the only thing I really want to do is share my knowledge with you and try and help you land where you want to land. And until next time, I'm New Home Nick.